All right, let's get right into a question that I'm sure you've asked yourself before. You're out for a walk and you're thinking, should I be pushing the pace here, get a better workout in? Or should I slow it down to, protect my knees? It feels like a simple choice, but believe me, the real answer is way more interesting than you think.
I mean, this is the big debate, isn't it? It's the question on everyone's mind. You see it all the time. Someone is just power walking past you like they're late for a huge meeting, and then you see someone else kind of shuffling along, taking it easy. And you can't help but wonder, okay, who's actually got the right idea here? Which one of them is doing the right thing for their knees in the long run?
Well, here comes the plot twist. It turns out that's completely the wrong question to be asking. Yeah, the question itself is flawed. See, focusing only on your walking speed, that's kind of like arguing about what kind of premium gas to put in a car that doesn't even have an engine. It just totally misses the point. So let's completely reframe this conversation.
All right, so let's just tackle this myth head on. We're going to completely dismantle this whole slow versus fast idea. And the way we'll do that is by looking at what I like to call the tale of two walkers. You're about to see why the common advice on both slow and fast walking can be, well, pretty misleading, even a little dangerous.
So this pretty much sums up what we all assume, right? On the one hand, you got the slow shuffle. It just seems gentle, it seems low impact, it's the safe choice. Then you've got the fast power walk. And our gut tells us, whoa, that looks kind of risky, probably high impact, the dangerous option. But what if I told you both of those gut feelings are wrong?
Okay, so let's break down that supposedly safe, slow walk. Think about it. When you're moving so slowly that your feet are barely even leaving the ground, our source actually has a great name for it. They call it the invisible peanut butter walk. Well, something interesting happens. Your biggest support system, your thigh muscles, they basically just check out. They go on vacation. And this quote just nails the problem perfectly. It's like your thigh muscles just look at your knee and go, "Oh, we're not needed here? Cool, knee. You're on your own, buddy." And just like that, bam, your knee joint is left to absorb all of the pressure, every bit of the force, all by itself. That's not protecting your knees. It's just putting them under stress in slow motion. Okay, so what about fast walking then? Is that the villain in this story? Well, not really. The real issue isn't the speed itself. The problem is when someone goes from, 0 to 100 without being conditioned for it, or when their walking form is just a mess. See, when you walk with good form, a faster pace actually makes your glutes and your thighs wake up and do their job. They create this amazing support system that takes the load off your knees. And that brings us to what really truly matters. So, if we're all agreeing that the speedometer is not the thing to be staring at, then what is? It's time to totally shift our focus. Let's move away from that one little number and zoom in on the things that are actually making or breaking your knee health with every single step you take. And here they are. These right here are the 5 real game changers. It's not about how fast you go. It's about your walking form, your muscle strength, your body weight, the shoes on your feet, and the terrain you're on. And, of course, how long you're out there walking. Trust me, these things are infinitely more important than your pace.
And you know what? Let's just focus on body weight for a second, because this number is, well, it's pretty staggering. For every single extra kilogram of body weight you have, the force on your knees is multiplied by 3 to 5 times. With every step, that is a massive amount of extra load, and it doesn't matter one bit how fast or slow you're walking.
I love this quote because it paints such a vivid picture of how your shoes and the ground beneath you can be the real villains. Think about it. A slow walk downhill in worn-out sneakers, that can put way more stress on your knees than a fast walk on a nice flat surface. Your knees don't know what your pace is. All they know is that you've basically turned them into the unsupported emergency brakes on a super steep hill.
Okay, so we've debunked the big myth, we've figured out what really matters, so now what? Let's get really practical here. How do you take all this information and actually use it? Let's talk about how to find your own personal sweet spot, that perfect stride that's going to keep your knees happy for a long, long time.
It all starts with this really simple 3-step movement, okay? First, your heel gently touches down. Then you roll smoothly right through the middle of your foot. And finally, you push off with your toes. See? It's a nice fluid roll. It's not a stomp, and it's not that shuffle we talked about. Getting this right engages your whole body the way it's supposed to.
And for your pace, forget about your watch, forget about your fitness app for just a second. Here's the absolute best way to find it. You should be walking at a pace where you could hold a conversation with someone, but you couldn't belt out your favorite karaoke song. If you tried to sing, you'd be out of breath. That's the sweet spot. It means you're putting in the work, but you're not overdoing it.
Now, I know some of you are probably listening to all this and thinking, that sounds great and all, but my knees already hurt. If that's you, listen up. Don't worry, and whatever you do, do not give up. There's a really smart way to handle this. This is not about pushing through pain. It's about rebuilding. It's about teaching your knees that they can trust you again.
Here's your recovery playbook. Step 1, make your walks shorter, maybe 30 or 40 minutes max, and focus completely on walking well. Good form is everything, even if it feels super slow. Step 2, start adding in some simple leg exercises. Things like wall sits or leg raises are perfect for this. They'll wake up those support muscles. And step 3, and this is crucial, only when the pain starts to go away, that's when you can start to gradually, gently pick up the pace. You're building back that foundation of strength and trust.
So after all of that, what's the one big takeaway? What's the thing you absolutely have to remember from all this if you want to keep your knees healthy for the long haul? Let's just boil it all down to one single, super important message.
This is it. This should be your new mantra. How you walk matters so much more than how fast you walk. I'll say it again. How you walk matters more than how fast you walk. Stop obsessing over your speed and start paying attention to your form, your muscle strength, and what your body is telling you. It's the quality of your steps that protects you, not the number on your watch.
And that brings us to the final, most important question. The next time you go for a walk, ask yourself this: are my leg muscles invited to the party, or are they sitting on the sidelines letting my knee joints take all the punishment? Because making sure those muscles are active and sharing the load, well, that's the real secret to happy knees and walking well for the rest of your life.